Hey piggies, how are you guys doing today? Huh? It's a beautiful day today. Feels good outside. Man, your wallow is getting a little bit dried up. We may need to give you guys some mud. But you guys stink. You really do stink pretty bad here lately. And that's because they're pinned up in this small area right now while they were smaller. And we've trained them on electric fence now. We've got some electric fence at the back of the pen. They're all trained up. And now it is time to give them all this wooded area over here for them to roam. And then once we do that and we give them a bigger area, they won't smell as bad. Hey guys, I'm Evan. Welcome to Country View Acres. So this year we're raising 4 pigs. It's the most pigs we've raised at one time. And I think we're gonna make our pig pasture a little bit bigger. We keep making it bigger like every year, it seems like. We're gonna try to make it bigger. We're gonna try to get it over toward the property line over there, and we're gonna try to hug the actual property line all the way back around and get them to clean up some more areas for us. But before I do that, I really need to clear an area for the electric wire to be able to go through the wooded area and back around. And we've still got some old fence posts in here that we need to take out because, well, I'm not gonna reuse those right now. I've got some new posts to use, and I'm gonna take these ones out for now, and I'll explain why. So last year's pigs went to the butcher in December, and I went to pull these stakes out, and there's supposed to be a metal piece here on the ground, on the end of the post, and it's staying in the ground. So I decided not to pull these and leave them exactly where they were so that I could make sure not to leave any metal in the ground. So see if we can find this piece. I think I feel it. There it is. All right, I got it. That little metal piece is supposed to be attached to that post, and they're coming off. And so Pete at Just a Few Acres Farm, he uses these exact same posts just like this, except what he's done is he's modified them, and where this little metal piece sticks on, he's welded on like an 1/8 inch thick piece of flat stock on here to help make it easier to step in and to help probably hold on this little metal piece from falling off as well. So they don't work very well the way they come. They'd end up coming apart. I don't want this metal piece to be in the ground. So I used some temporary step-in posts last year as well, and I bought extra this year, and that's what I'm gonna use. I'm just gonna use the white temporary posts instead of these. Well, you can see here behind me, there's still quite a bit of junk back in here in the woods. I think that's an old hog hooch right there. And then there was some kind of building off to the side. We're gonna try to give them this area over here to help clean it up, because they helped clean up the last area last year that we exposed to them. So we're gonna give them a new area to clean up this year. Oh, piece of metal came off. It's in there somewhere. There it is. So hopefully at the end of the year, this is all nice and cleared and we can see everything so that we'll be able to come in here with the tractor and just kind of haul out all the junk. So one thing about this property is it had a bunch of old fence lines in it, and I think we're going to cross 2, maybe 3 fences to try to get around where we want to go. And these old fences, even though they're old and rusty, some of these wires are still pretty tough to cut. Just using my little miniature bolt cutters from Nipex, and we'll get this out of here. Looks like some piece of a building fell down here. Clear enough of a path for the fence. Well, all right, I think I've got everything cleared out enough. So I think it's a big enough path for the lawnmower to fit through that way and then back through the cedar trees back there. And I think we've got a clear path to connect back to where we had our fence before and back around. So let me grab the zero turn, we'll get this cleaned up. So I've got a clear path now to be able to run our electric fence. We're gonna be about, I don't know, 5 to 6 feet off of the property line. And this is gonna give them at least probably another half an acre for them to roam. The only thing I need to do now is I put in T-posts for the corners for the wire to turn and to put the stress of that on a T-post. So I just need to move a few T-posts for everywhere the fence turns, and then we can start running it. I came out.
You okay?
Yeah. I don't think it's going down any further. Make them on a root. All right, I think we got all our corner posts in now. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab the reel of poly braid electric wire and get reeling it out. I put all 3 strands on the same reel, but I know I'm gonna come up pretty short. So I've got a whole new roll that we'll be able to add to it and make it reach. So on this side, we got these little pin connectors to be able to put electric wire and hold it in, but we actually, instead of putting the pin in there, we put the poly braid through there, and we're gonna tie it off. And that's how we start our pull, our wire pull or whatever. That's how it starts off on each end. Oh my goodness, I'm coming tangled already. Wow. Should never have filled this. I need a bigger roll. I'll have to get a bigger roll for this kind of thing. This is what happens when you overfill a roll of poly wire. If it starts wrapping around the sides, you're pretty well in trouble. Stay on. Oh, it's coming off this side. And it's wanting to come off that side. This right here is a nightmare. All right, do not do what I did. Do not put all 3 strands on the same roll and try to save time. They all need to be wrapped up differently because you end up with crap like this. I think we're gonna have to, it is so tangled, it is ridiculous. We're gonna have to unwrap this whole thing and separate them and then finally wrap them around the pig pen. Yeah, this is gonna take a while. All right, we got the fence all put in and hooked up, and it is miserable out here today. I think it said it was like 92 degrees outside, but in the sun, it felt like 107. And in the shade, it was like 100, is what it felt like. So that being said, I think what I'm gonna do is we're gonna wait until it's cooler because I don't think the pigs are gonna move. Rebecca doesn't think that the pigs are gonna move being this hot. They're just gonna stay laying down in the shade. So we're gonna wait till this evening and we'll come back and we'll open up their pen and we'll let them out into this area when it's a little bit cooler. How you feel?
Miserable.
Miserable?
I feel awful for the animals. They look miserable too.
Yeah, like they need sprayed down with a hose?
Yeah, I don't think the goats and sheep would like it very much though.
Pigs would though.
Oh, I've done it to the pigs. I've sprayed them down. They've been loving it.
But yeah, it's a miserable day. And it was pretty miserable trying to get that all untangled as well. We had to get it all off the reel and then we strung it down the driveway. It reached from here all the way to our workshop at the house. That's how long those 3 strands were. And then we stretched it out again and just put it on, tried to untangle it as we went. So it's done and it's hot and we'll be back.
So it's the next day. We decided to quit last night about 5 o'clock. The heat was miserable. Today it's about 30 degrees cooler and we're gonna get finished up and release the pigs.
Afraid I'm gonna rip my pants. Oh. All right, got the fence charger disconnected. We'll go ahead and take this temporary fence out of here and then we'll move the fence charger to the other end. We'll get it hooked up and then we can finally take out these cattle panels right here and release the pigs to this big area. So right here we hang the fence charger on the side of this carport and then we've got a ground rod already in the ground right here so we can hook it up. So we'll attach the positive side of the charger to this top string of electric. We'll get that tightened down. So then we got our top string comes over, ties off to the post, and then it's tied to both of the other strings and then they're tied to each other as well. So everything's tied together so they should all be charged with our fence charger over here. So I'm not going to turn this on just yet. We're going to release the pigs first and then we'll get out and then we'll turn it on.
You guys have already figured out that the electric wire's not there anymore, huh? Well, maybe you'll come out quicker than the pigs last year. They're like, let us out.
All right, yeah, I'm cutting the zip ties. Hold your horses. All right, pigs, you're free. Free-ish, kind of free. Look at all that grass for you to eat.
They're like feasting.
Yeah, there's plenty of stuff out here for you guys to chomp on. Oh, you got one that's traveling a little ways.
Oh yeah, that's Hershey.
He's the first one out.
Yep.
You got a big area.
No, it's not electrified. No, don't go.
No, no, I can go turn it on.
Hopefully they're not gonna hit the...
Nope. Rebecca just plugged the fence back in. You guys can't get out. You had your chance. You had just a few minutes where you had to make a break for it. All right, so this is the whole opposite end of the run. I can hear it popping, but we're gonna check see if we can see the actual... I'm not seeing anything. I wonder if my tester's any good. Not seeing nothing. That's crazy, I can hear it popping. I wonder if this tester's shot. Oh, it's laying on the metal. I haven't tied it off on this side. See, it's grounded out. We're gonna have to tie it like we did the other end. Well, we forgot to tie off these tails at this end and they were laying against this cattle panel here and shorting out. So now we've got them all tied to each other and we can test it again. I'd really like to get a better tester. and I'm seeing 6,000 volts. 6,000 volts. 6,000 volts on each line. So the pigs will definitely get shocked if they test the fence.
So the pigs are now in their bigger area. They have about 2 acres to roam. They're very curious and they've been exploring the entire fence line, figuring out how far they're allowed to go. I think they're going to be much happier now, and hopefully it'll be a lot less stinky. So I think that's probably going to be about it for today's video. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time. That feel good, Snickers?